Hey everyone, this is my 1978 Dodge Power Wagon. It's a half-ton four-wheel drive pickup truck. My father actually bought this brand new in 1978, and he drove the hell out of it, put about 75,000 miles on it, and then he ended up parking it in the driveway and just letting it sit there for about 10 years or so until he moved it into the garage. As you can see, it's completely oxidized. It used to be a beautiful canyon red. Now it's a nice oxidized orange with a whole lot of rust on it. I mean, not bad rust, but Arizona rust, surface rust, you know. She's got the 360 in it with four-wheel drive. I believe it's the NP203 chain-driven transfer case. It's got air conditioning. Of course, it doesn't work. It's all shot to hell. Hell, the cooling system barely works. As a matter of fact, the last time I fired this up about 5.5 years ago, the water pump almost immediately went out on me. So in order to get it going, I'm going to have to replace that water pump. That's going to be one of the first projects I do. Another thing my dad had is he used to have a camper that went on the back of this bed, a bed camper up here, and as you can see, there's two gas tanks for it. There's the original gas tank right here, which was the plastic. I think it was like an 18-gallon tank, which would give it that Dodge lean, which was pretty cool. And then he actually had a 50-gallon custom tank built here on the rear. As you can see, that big old freaking tank right there is the custom one that he had built. Well, when I got this truck, when I was about 16, I mean, it hadn't ran in probably at least 17 or 18 years. When I got it, because he parked it before I was even born. I got the truck, and you know, obviously he was like, if you want a car to drive to school and press the chicks, he's like, you can have the truck and fix that up. And I was like, hell yeah, take the truck. So I got this truck, you know, and did a lot of repairs to it over the whole summer of my sophomore year. I basically got it running, and this was my truck all throughout high school. Most people will remember me. If you're watching this, you went to my high school. Back to the custom tank, as I was saying, it used to have the 18-gallon original tank, but that one was cracked and I couldn't find a replacement for it at the time. So I went with just keeping the custom tank on the rear of the truck. And instead of actually putting the tank here, I actually instead have some nice Flowmasters coming out the side here, if you didn't notice. And that's where the original tank used to go, right up in there. But the Flowmasters are there now. So you know, it's not very modded or anything like that. It's just the stock 360. I've got some Hedman headers right here, which I don't even know if they're in business anymore, Hedman headers. They were back in 2002 when I bought the headers. Hedman headers, and then I got them going straight down into Flowmaster 40s. Down here. Straight down, as you can see here, right into the Flowmaster 40s, which are a little banged up. And they're a full dual. They exit right before the rear tires. I used to have some 33s on here that were beast. Make this truck really look good. And that's the other one on the other side. You got obviously your transfer case, front differential, rear differential. That 55-gallon tank is completely rusted out, or 50-gallon tank. I mean, it's toast. You know, at times I was having to run like 2 or 3, even 4 fuel filters just to keep the rust from making its way up to the front. And I was constantly changing them out, and I knew eventually I was going to have to replace that tank. So I think that's going to be one of the most expensive jobs, is just actually getting the custom tank, or getting a new custom tank built for the truck. You know, apparently you can't use gasoline in the bed of a truck. Only diesel pickups can do that, which was maybe a good segue into saying that I'd like to throw a Cummins diesel in this one day. But I think for right now, the 360 is going to serve the purpose that I need, which is just a fun off-road toy, you know, something to drive around and make people go, wow, look how cool old truck, you know, and dig on it. So I'm going to start working on it this weekend. First things first is that water pump. And then I'll probably end up having to, pull a bunch of parts. I'm going to have to look at the carburetor, see if that needs to be rebuilt. Certainly don't feel like dropping 300 bones on a carburetor if I can just get a rebuild kit and do it that way. These differentials are going to need to be looked at as far as the oil and such. I'm going to need to check the transmission fluid. Most definitely needs an oil change, spark plugs. I'll probably look at the distributor cap as well. Needs a battery. Other than that, if I do those things and I throw some ether in this bitch, I guarantee you she will fire up and she'll be loud and proud. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.